everyone, welcome back to Cobalt Mood. It's Cobalt here and it is March 2nd. So I have decided this week to prioritize sleep. I've just been feeling like the last few weeks I've been digging myself into the ground. I haven't figured out the schedule, so my days are very long and my days are even longer the days I have to source. So the last few weeks I've been having dogs here like 5 of 7 days on average. And so I've been having to do all my sourcing for the week in 2 days. So that's been a bit brutal. And it's been hard for multiple reasons. And March is going to be even worse. I am going to have families here where the dogs are younger. And so I'm hoping that I will be able to leave for a few hours at a time, so it's not as hard. But yeah, like because of my schedule not being able to figure out like how to shorten what I'm doing, like if I'm sourcing the whole day, it's like usually 6 to 8 hours, sometimes 9 if I get out before noon. Last night I was sourcing from 11 to 8 p.m. When I got home, I literally just sat there scrolling on my phone because I didn't have any extra energy to get out and unload the car. And I did that for like probably 30 minutes, just like dead. And then I, moved all the stuff in and I tried to get something together to eat. That took like another 30 minutes. That would have gotten me to like 9:30 at that point. And I don't know what I did for the next 30 minutes. Probably was just searching for the will to live at that point. Because even though I knew that I was going to have an all-day sourcing thing, I did not prepare and get my listings covered for the weekend. But also I couldn't have prepared because I only had enough stock to get me through my last 5-day stay. I only had items that went up to Saturday, and yesterday was Sunday. I had to source to get the items to then list. I photo enlisted like between 10 and 12, and I got those up and I went to sleep around 12:30. And so I just was like, looking ahead, today I have to source between when I get off my call at 1-ish, so 1 to 8 probably today. And then tomorrow I have 10 to 3:30, and then I have a family arriving tomorrow evening, and they'll be here for 6 days. So it's just going to be a lot of long days for the next few days. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I need to prioritize sleep. If I cannot go to sleep before midnight or 1 a.m., then you have no business waking up at 5 a.m. and then not getting it together for a few hours to then leave for all day sourcing. Like that combination is not going to be good for me, my mental health. And I just, I'm trying to protect that. So yeah, I've decided no morning calls for the next few days while I'm in these long sourcing trips. I also, even though I got all my listings up last night, I felt pretty disappointed. I don't know if I picked up some stuff with the idea of bundling, but like when I got home, I just like took out 8 from my source pile and put it in the box, and then I listed that box. But when it came time to actually listing them, like 7 of the 8 were below my metric. And that was like really disappointing because I've been doing such a good job of staying above my metric. And it's like I didn't have time to photo 8 additional ones and list that because the time was running out. So I went ahead and listed them. I'm gonna count how much I picked up yesterday. That'll help me reorient like how much I actually need to get today. I think I might just go ahead and do like an ignorant is bliss mentality, and I'm gonna just pick up what I can in the next few days, knowing that I have a lot of days booked this month with dogs. And so it would be good to have a surplus, especially if I like mess up and I buy all these small things to bundle and then I either don't bundle them or I don't have enough to bundle to hit my metric. So anyways, with the 8 that I listed yesterday that I was pretty disappointed by, like, I'm thinking if I have a surplus, I'm going to just probably replace those items and then remove them from the shop. Or I'll just leave them as extras in the shop because I already did the work to list and photo them. And then I'll just basically owe my shop 8 additional items this month. With the rest of the time here, I wanted to go over February numbers. I have the sheet next to me. I have decided for March and March moving forward, I'm going to do 8 items a day. To be honest, I've been feeling pretty deflated the last few days. Like, I know how much work I'm putting into this, and I'm in that like gray area where the store needs time to catch up. And even though I was pretty booked this month with doggos, like a lot of the families were single dogs, so naturally I just get paid less than if they were all 2-dog families. And this month just happens to be a lot of 2-dog families, so it'll even out. I think last month when I did numbers, I just read through the columns. I might just go ahead and do that. In summary, because I know there's going to be a lot of numbers, what I've learned is between January and February, I ended up selling less this month and grossing less this month, but I profited $700 more this month than I did last month. And that was because last month I did a lot of auctions and they charge you like 25 cents an auction. That is why there's such a big difference. I think it's mostly auction related. The auctions are around like 500 that I was charged. Maybe 200 of that was me just improving a little bit and like spending the same amount per an item, but picking up more expensive items. Maybe there was improvement. I don't know. Like I said, I'm feeling deflated, so maybe I'm just in that I'm my worst critic mood. Okay, here we go. Here's numbers for February. I ended up sourcing 230 items for roughly 8 on average as my daily. My total cost of goods, so what I spent this month was $1,285. I'm gonna round. So my average cost of goods right now with what I spent is $5.59 an item. I listed 6.5 of the 8 that I picked up, so that's pretty good. My listing value that I put in with those total of 183 listed items was $10,515. So I think that's pretty good spread, I spent roughly $1,300 and potentially put in the store $10,500. So like that's what 9-10x. I think that's pretty good. All right. Listing value average $57.46. Also good because my goal is 40. Items sold monthly 88 on average. That's 3 sales a day. I gross, so what my platform sales are, $2,994. Tax, $165. Selling costs, so what the platform took, $1,022. So what I netted after all those fees, of the almost $3,000 I grossed, I netted $1,805. Daily net profit after cost of goods. My daily is $18.58. I believe that's like what I profited from the item after we took out cost of goods. All right, in terms of business expenses, I spent roughly $315 this month. Net profit after business expenses and cost of goods, $223. And my goal that I had at the beginning of this month, income goal, I raised it by $500, so my monthly income goal was $2,000. So I'm under that still. I always get kind of confused, like, is this monthly income goal like gross or net? I would assume net. I don't know, but okay. Anyways, back to the sheet. Again, I need to read through this stuff again. I'm like, I don't know what these numbers are saying. Okay, so am I above or below my goal? I am below by negative 88%. But I still have other income sources coming in. So my main one is Rover. Also, this month had a few local sales, so I ended up selling a large chunk of the pin collection to somebody I found locally, and that was awesome because it saved me on fees, and I profited $330 for that. So that was a great sale. Okay, I did not put in my Amazon numbers, so I might be a little bit off, but I would say it was definitely under like $150, I would say, this month from Amazon. My data entry job, I only worked 1 hour, actually under an hour, so I profited $15 from that. I don't think I really have time or energy to do it. I kind of want to drop it, but I also know that it's one of my steady ones if I put in the time. So I might have to do a few days of that in March when I'm stuck at home with the dogs and I have shorter days because I'm not spending 8 hours sourcing. So that might be up next month. Social media, woohoo, still at $0. So, okay, so in total, between what I earned on eBay plus my other platforms, I actually am above my goal by 201%. So, able to survive again this month. Barely, but we're doing it. Yeah, I ended up posting my numbers in the group. They always suggest that, like, when you're in doubt, zoom out to see, like, how is your business improving between this year and last year for the same time period. And that makes sense, but I feel like I can't really, like, trust it because last year I was doing media. And this year I'm doing plush. Also, I was like probably very dead last year because I was very depressed around this time period. Year over year, I'm up 398% for February. So if you look at that, I mean, that's extreme growth, and any business would probably be thrilled to have that number. Now, why am I not so woohoo about that? February, I grossed, this is 2025, $597 with a net sales of $298. And then this year, I sold on eBay $2,977, and my net sales were $1,688. So it's like, I'm going up between my gross of $596 to almost $3,000. Okay, now that I say it out loud, maybe it's actually decent. But at the time when I was like kind of posting about these numbers, it felt like I was going from $5 to $50. Like, it felt like I was going from poor to poor. So that is why, like, this 400% increase was like, whoopee! Like, okay, I still have the same life. Like, there's nothing different. Okay, I'll get off this ramble about negativity, it feels like. I'm just, like, beating myself up at this point. Today, I need to see how much I have, how much I have to do the next 2 days. I need to ship my items out. I'm going to attempt to work on these puppets and get them off the floor. I only have an hour till my call, and then I plan on leaving directly after. So probably actually won't get to that. Maybe my goal will do the puppets by the end of the week. That should be totally attainable. And if I can't do it, then I better list them and sell them for what I spent on them. Because if I don't do it this week, like, it's not going to get done. If I'm avoiding something, it probably shouldn't be in my life. That's what I've learned in this 1 second that I spoke out loud about it. So anyways, that's it for today. Maybe give me some positivity in the comments since I'm just dicey right now. All right. Take care, everyone. Talk to you tomorrow.